Welcome back to the Pray Vote Stand Summit here in Atlanta, Georgia. I am here with Rob Bluey, the executive editor of the Daily Signal. Rob, it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. You are about to hit the main stage for a panel on conservative media. Tell me what you are about to share with the main stage audience.
Well, we are at a critical time. I mean, the media landscape is changing every day, as you know. So, I mean, Americans fortunately have so many different choices that they can turn to when it comes to getting their news and information. And I think having a balanced media diet, not just consuming what you get from the corporate media, is really important. And so outlets like the Daily Signal or the Washington Stand exist to give people an alternative and hopefully to really get to the truth and bottom of what's going on in Washington and their communities across this country.
What kind of need is the Daily Signal meeting? I was just recently actually reading a poll that was talking about how most people don't trust the media. What do you have to say to that?
Well, for good reason they don't. I mean, look at what's happened in recent years. You've had the Russia-Trump collusion hoax, which was proved to be false, largely because of alternative or independent journalists who exposed what was going on. And I think that by and large, they see what the media does every day. I mean, there's a strong tendency to focus on the negative, to have a pack mentality, meaning that they just chase each other, trying to scoop each other on different things, and they really miss out on what's going on in America. And so what we try to do at the Daily Signal is to tell those stories. I mean, I'd say first and foremost, we try to put a human face on policy issues. Policy in Washington affects everybody in this country, but so few people understand the ramifications of that. And so that's what we try to do every day. And I'd say secondly, it's doing investigative reporting. I think there's far too few investigative reporters looking into the corruption that goes on in Washington, D.C., to see where the money is being spent, and also just trying to get basic information from government that they don't want to disclose. And so those are the types of things we're trying to do.
To conservatives who do have this deep-seated mistrust of the media, how would you suggest that they go about making sure that they're doing their own investigative reporting, if you will, and making sure that they have the facts, a well-balanced media diet?
Yeah, I would start by having a skeptical view, particularly of social media. I think it's really alarming that you have more and more young people who are turning to places like TikTok to get all of their news and information. I don't think that's healthy. So if you're a parent, I think one of the pieces of advice I'd give is, try to instill in your children a sense of looking at multiple sources of news. I am not one of those people who say completely tune out the corporate media. I think that obviously you should view everything with a dose of skepticism, but there are some things that they can do that other outlets like us can't. I mean, we, for instance, don't have anybody in any foreign capital who can cover what's happening on the ground there. But there are things that we do really well. And I think one of those things, hopefully, is staying in touch with the everyday American and the needs and concerns that they have about what's going on in their communities. And so have a local newspaper or television outlet that you trust and can turn to, have some sources on social media that you have found to be credible, and then find a source like the Daily Signal or the Washington Stand where you can supplement that and get news and information each and every day.
That's helpful advice. Last question, Rob. How can people connect with the Daily Signal?
Sure. Well, I encourage them to follow us on Twitter at Daily Signal or on Facebook at The Daily Signal News. And we have a daily podcast. We have our daily Morning Bell email where you can subscribe and get the news delivered to your inbox every day. Multiple ways to keep in touch.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.